All right. Well, so thanks for doing this, Greg.
Yeah, happy to
What
help
is,
out, man. Happy to help out.
yeah. So first question, what is your name and where are you from?
Greg Lancaster. Been with CCAM for 10 months now. And this was my first experience with you guys with the EX31. I know Corey had worked with another automation company in the past, and that really didn't go too well, which is why we got you guys involved. I'm not sure who reached out in the beginning or how it all started, but my first experience with you guys, and say it was a very positive one.
So how did you originally hear about X31?
Whoever reached out to you guys, I kind of came in halfway through the project over here, and you guys were already on the docket to do the work. So I would have to say I heard about you guys through CCAM.
So what did you like most about working with X31?
There's a few things I could spout off. I like the proximity. I like that you guys are local to the area. I liked how responsive you guys were. Yeah, in my opinion, you guys are a smaller company, which
Definitely.
I also like. I like the fact that everything kind of informal. I know CCAM seems like a very formal, and it is. Don't get me wrong, but I like the work dynamic between us and EX31. Yeah, it's a little more. They're a little more of a, I'll call it.
Yep.
And I like the fact that we could just pick up the phone and give you a call, or Corey could shoot you a text message, and kind of go back and forth that way. I like that. I like that dynamic when it comes to solving a problem. I think with the larger automation company that they worked with before I got there, I think it was very much they could squeeze us in. They could squeeze us in when they had time, and it wasn't very responsive both ways. And they were just kind of jerked in the end, right? Based on what Corey was telling me, he said they were they kind of delivered. They got it functional and not really logical, if that makes sense. Like they got it to work kinda, and then they just kind of bounced. They were out. They didn't take the time to make it look good, or to clean up the code to make it so where somebody could come in and understand. And I appreciated that fact with you guys, that you were able to kind of stick with it. And Joey was I like working with Joey as well. He's a good person to interface with. He's like always. I mean, multiple times he would reach out just to make sure that we were happy. The site visits were a nice touch, and from the project management standpoint, just handling all the invoicing and the paperwork was very easy for me and straightforward. There was no ambiguity. There was no gray area. It was always, all right, this is the PO. He always asked me, are we comfortable to invoice? So I appreciated that fact, that he kind of checked in before sending the invoices over. That was nice. And everything was just very organized in terms of the paperwork. And what you won't see, I mean, the text messages that you exchange with Corey, after hours, dealing with the program and stuff, that's not necessarily going to show up in the invoice, but it is going to, reflect positively on you and EX31 to where you're going to be our guys. We're not going to get competing quotes for future automation projects. We're gonna come straight to you guys because of the flexibility and the willingness to put in the effort to get the job done. So I appreciated that fact with you specifically. I think Corey might have hit you up a few times after hours because that's just how he is. And he's always thinking about the
Yeah, he is.
troubleshooting, and it's kind of I don't know. I don't want it to get to a point where it becomes unhealthy. He's always thinking about those. That's just the way he is. He's very very dedicated to the, let's say, and wanting to keep that area running and keep things going. So maybe that's a long-winded answer, but I think you got some good tidbits in there.
Oh yeah, and we appreciate that. It was great working with Corey. Easy working with you guys, and yeah, Joey, he's definitely a no-nonsense guy. So
yeah, for sure.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, I tried a couple times to outdo his handshake, but man, that guy's got a power.
Oh yeah, he lets you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Just one more question. Would you recommend our company to a colleague, and why?
Oh yeah, for sure. For all the reasons I just spouted off.
Yeah.
And just for your information, I guess if you wanted to, like, some feedback or some improvement opportunities, and I don't know how you improve this. I mean, I think you handled the situation well, but when I got there, it was Gabe, right? Gabe was doing everything,
Yep.
And then he left, and then Joey brought in like a subcontractor guy. I think it was Dirk. I think Dirk was his name.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. And then you came in, so that I could see where that could potentially, throw some risk into the project with three guys working on the program. In my experience, when you throw more programmers at a problem, it takes 3 times as long to fix. So if that situation can be avoided, that's probably ideal. But in this situation, it's kind of unavoidable, right? And I could probably spin it the other way with Joey making a pivot to Dirk, to try to keep the project moving forward, so that we're not waiting on somebody to pick up where Gabe left off. So I did appreciate that move and him trying to keep things moving forward. But I know something Corey had mentioned that he had to get Gabe up to speed, and that takes a day for him to go through everything, and then he had to get Dirk up to speed, and there goes another day, and then getting you up to speed the third time. So that's multiple days where Corey's having to basically say the same thing over and over. Which in the end it worked out, and I think we handled that situation well, but potentially could have been an issue there with rotating guys looking at the same project. But no, man, I definitely highly recommend you guys. I had a very, very positive experience, and like I said, I love that you guys are around the corner. I think the actual work that you did was good, and it shows. Right? We got the 2 is are up and running. They've been running for a couple weeks now. We're doing final testing. So things are looking good. The program's working well. There's been no hiccups so far, right? I know that's the thing with the code. You want to put as many miles on the equipment as possible, right? When you're debugging. So I think you did some really good work in that. We haven't really seen too many issues pop up from a coding perspective. The things just run, right? And that's been good. The more we can keep up, that's the revenue that we're getting from. So I know also they're very sticklers about having all this up and running. So it's been good in that regard.
Well, Greg, I think that's pretty good. Really appreciate you doing this interview and taking the time.
Yeah, keep it up, man.